Today the plan is to remove the burners and the flame sensor and clean them. Just a disclaimer, guys, if you are not a trained technician, it is better to take the help or the services of a trained technician to do this. Yesterday I did a video on removing and cleaning the inducer motor. There also you may, if you are not comfortable, it's better to get the help of a trained technician to do that, because if there is any leak, then you'll have carbon monoxide in the house. So it's very risky, very dangerous. So this is how I did it. I'm not recommending you to do that. Anyway, so I'll remove this plate now for easy access. Even without that we can do. Nevertheless, I'm going to remove this plate, take it out and blow it and then clean it. And that way I'll have easy access to the burners here underneath, the 3 burners. And the flame sensor will be right at the back there. In fact, here is the flame sensor. This point, I don't know whether you can see that. It's here. So I'm going to clean all that. First take it out and brush it with a brass bristle brush and fix it back. So I'll come back to this after that is done. Just loosening all the screws. Just make sure the power is off when you're doing all this. So just 4 screws. Now that the screws are loosened, I'm going to remove the plate. Now the 4 screws have been removed. So the plate this is just a shield plate. This comes off. So this has come off. So now I have easy access to the burners. Now to remove the burners, I just need to remove this screw and one on this side. So once I remove this plate will come up, and once this plate comes up, these burners will lift up easily. So the 2 screws have been removed, and this plate should come off. So it should be mounted the same way, not the other way around. So I'll keep it aside. And now I should be careful while removing this one, because the flame, the igniter is just next to it. I should be careful with that, should not damage that. It gets damaged easily, breaks easily. So this should technically lift off without any, that way. So this is the center one, and this is the left extreme. It's a little difficult. should find out why it is being so difficult. And this is the one I should be careful with. Okay, that came off easily. I think I need to use the same technique. Move it to the right. That came off. So now all three burners are out, and this is the flame sensor. I'll remove that and also clean it. Okay, now I have the burners outside here. I just marked all the burners with a permanent marker here so that I can put back in the same order. Not that it matters, but I'd rather put everything back the way I removed. So this is middle and this is left. So the burners don't look so bad, at least this one. But nevertheless, I'm going to brush them off with a brass brush. This is what I have. I have a smaller one too. I think this should do. And essentially we need to make sure that even these areas are cleaned properly. This is where the flame actually jumps from burner to burner, so that all the burners get the flame. And after doing that, a blast of compressed air should tidy up the entire thing. So I'll be cleaning it like so. And even these, as I mentioned, these areas need to be cleaned. So I cleaned the shield plate as well with a brush. I might just clean it again with a damp cloth, so that otherwise it's clean of any dirt or dust. While I'm at it, and now that I have access, easy access, I'm going to actually brush off all the dust with this brush. And as I do that, I'll try and collect everything as much as possible using a vacuum cleaner. I don't have a brush for this, otherwise it would have been easier. But nevertheless, I don't want to touch and damage any of these things. Some of the delicate parts like the igniter. So I'll just brush. As I brush, I'm going to vacuum the dust. It will not be on camera because of the vacuum cleaner shop vac sound. So I'll come back later. Okay, now I not only brushed off all the dust but also collected using a shop vac. Made sure as much as dust is vacuumed out so that it doesn't remain in the house here. And I also removed the spark sensor, the flame sensor that sits here in this hole. You can see that hole. So there's nothing great about it. It looks clean for the number of years that it has worked without any service. Nevertheless, I'll just polish this with a, I think, with a Scotch-Brite or steel wool. And after that, I'm going to assemble the burners back. So now it looks clean. I'm now going to put back the burners that I had removed and cleaned. So these are all clean now. And this should go. I should be careful because the igniter is on this side. So in fact, initially I thought it's on the right, it's on the left. So I should be careful there. Without touching that, I should do it. So the first one, the right one, is in place. So this is the left one, and yep, so that's in place. So now for the middle one. Middle one should be straightforward. Yeah. So all are in place now, as you can see. Now I'll have to put the bracket that was holding all the 3 burners and then the shield plate on this one. So this is the bracket that will go like that. Now all the burners and the shield plate, everything is in place. Everything is clean now. Time for testing before I move on to the next phase, that is removal of the main blower. So I'll just make sure that things are back to working condition before I move on to the next stage. So it is back to normal working. So now the next phase is to clean the removal of the blower motor and cleaning of that. And then while it is outside, I'll have to clean the A coil, which is the evaporator coil.